Everybody keeps telling me to stay warm. Freaking warm. I have a wood stove. Hello everybody, it's Marty McConnell. Today I'm going to be talking about something different, and I hope you'll excuse my my voice. I've been down with this cold for like a week. Been shut down from work for about a week, which work's kind of shut down right now because we work outside, and there's problems that happen when the temperature gets below and stays below freezing. Excuse me. And I am really not feeling as bad as I sound. It's just, this cold is like stuck up in my head and my throat's sore. Don't worry about that. But it does kind of play into what I'm wanting to talk about today, which is being prepared for emergency situations. Well, when you've got an off-grid cabin in the woods, and you make your own water by collecting rainwater, you make your own power on solar panels, and the temperature drops below freezing for an extended period, all of a sudden out of nowhere, right? It's been a mild winter so far, and then about, 5 days ago, just dropped below zero, had not come back above it except for a couple minutes, a couple days. So my water tanks outside are ice cubes right now. They're big, 200-gallon ice cubes. They're probably not frozen all the way through, but a good portion around the outer perimeter. I'm going to find out probably this weekend as soon as this shit clears up, because I've only got so many of these buckets. So one thing I do is I keep these 5-gallon buckets in the house. And this is not like an emergency water thing. I actually cycle through these, so these are my drinking water buckets, because the stuff that I put in here tastes better than the stuff that I treat for the wall, the sink, and the shower, and all that stuff. So I generally like to drink out of these, and that's just become habit from when I was kind of roughing it up here. So I keep 20 gallons on hand and on rotation at all times. That's enough for a pretty extended period. Started looking at it today, and I'm like, yeah, it's getting a little skimpy. I mean, I've got, let me think. I think I've got 2 full buckets left, so I'm not even halfway through it. But you look at it, you're like, eh. So as soon as this cold weather is gonna hit, and I realized, like, stuff's about to freeze, so if the stuff outside freezes, that's gonna tear up pipes and plumbing and all kinds of other crap. So I disconnect it, reconnect it when I need to take a shower and that kind of thing, and then turn it back off again. Usually that gets me through fairly cold conditions, but I can't even open the valve right now because it's frozen shut. So that's totally cut off from the house. So I'm totally on internal water, and this is for me. And then I've got my happy cat family out there, and I try to take them, like, I'll cook some water in a teapot, take that out, break the ice out of their bowl, and then pour that in there. Do that at least twice a day so that they can get, something to drink for an extended period. And like these days, like today when I'm home, I'll go out there and break the ice out several times. But so unlimited water, and you want to talk about being in a precarious situation. This is kind of funny to me because I think this would like rattle a normal person, right? This would drive them absolutely insane. The only thing with me right now at the moment is really the stupid head cold's driving me insane. But the water situation, like, I could do without it. So the first thing I did is shut the tanks off outside. I realized I was in for a cold freeze, and it's going to be a while before I can take a shower. So I filled up the tub with wash water. I think I probably put a good maybe 50, 60 gallons in there. I'm not sure how much it holds, but put the little stopper down in there, filled it up. So anything that I need to wash, like, I could take a bowl or something in there and get me a little water to wash dishes or to wash my face, my hands, that kind of thing. dump it down the drain. I've got plenty there to go for a while, and I can also, like, you know, it's a bathing area, so I can wash off anything that gets sweaty or dirty and just kind of maintain. And as I get into next week, probably be washing my hair, so that water is going to start to get kind of gray and kind of cruddy, but it's better than not having anything. Yeah, worst comes to worst, you know, you go to a truck stop or something, take a shower. But so you got to have these kinds of plans in your head from the beginning. I think this is something that a lot of people don't even think about, but these kind of conditions, it would not surprise me right now with this cold front that's moving through all of the northern U.S. at the moment. If there are water pipes bursting, if, you know, this could happen to you. Like, you may not be living off grid in the middle of the woods and disconnected from everything, but a water main can still go down. Stuff can freeze. I mean, you get into one of these hard freezes where it's going to be sub-zero for weeks. Bad things can happen. Bad things can happen all around. They can happen in your basement. So I think anybody right now, as I'm putting this out, like, if you haven't done already, you need to take a serious look at winterizing, or you're going to have a bunch of busted pipes and you're going to have problems. At least check what you have, see what's on hand. It's never, ever a bad idea, even if it costs you a little bit of extra money. Well, water from the city is pretty much free. Fill up the freaking tub, you know, put a stopper in it, fill it up. If you've still got water to shower with when you get home, drain the freaking tub, take a shower, fill it right back up. And that little hack right there, you know, it's 1 ounce of prevention. It's not going to cost you a whole lot, and it's super, super easy to do. If you have a bathtub, just fill it up, okay? It's going to be cold, and if you get totally stuck without water, that's something you could have done to prevent it. These 5-gallon buckets are cheap. I think with a lid, you can get these from Walmart for like $3 or $4 a pop. Just go buy 5 or 6 of them, stack them up somewhere. I normally don't stack them more than 3 high, you know, when they've got water in them, because they're 40 pounds a piece if they're filled with water. So you don't want to go too high or too carried away with it, but at least it's something, or get you a 5-gallon drinking water, anything, just stuff to have around. Now the fire, everybody's worried about. Like, my boss was originally worried. He's like, you're sick, you're going to be out there chopping wood for your wood stove? I'm like, no, man, the wood's already chopped. You know, all the wood that I'm chopping this year is for next year. So I've got wood on the pile out there. I've got wood out in the barn over there. I just need to bring a bundle in once or twice a day from the pole barn. I'm good to go. And the little wood stove's been a trooper. I mean, it keeps this place toasty. So heat is the farthest down my list of concerns. Washing, bathing, having something to drink, those are super priorities though. So that's something that I'm focused on. And even though I've already gotten through several days on just maybe 8 gallons, and I've still got another 12 to burn up, I am still planning getting out tonight, or not tonight, but, you know, Saturday, Sunday, go out there, bust some ice out of one of these, stick a little piece of hose in it and siphon off, fill my buckets back up, and at least get them topped off and back here inside where they can warm back up. And then I have my water supply restocked. You know, I'll have to treat it on the fly, but this is no big deal. I'm used to it. I don't, if you don't have a recommendation to go off of, I basically use 1 milliliter of bleach per gallon is how I treat these, and that's really all I treat them with. So that might be good, that might be bad. I don't know if that works for you. The CDC has guidelines, the World Health Organization, they have their own way of treating water. Like, you could do iodine tablets, you can do these little micro pore filter things. It's all kinds of different ways you can do it. And then as a basic minimum, if you don't have any of those other methods, at least have a way to boil water. So I've got the wood stove here, which is perfect for heating up the tea kettle for the cats. But if I'm making coffee, I just heat it up on that little electric thing over there. And that brings me to the other problem, right? So the solar panels right now are iced over. We got some sleet yesterday, so there's like a white layer just caked onto them. So sick or not, I need to get out there tomorrow and try and figure out some way to bust that up and get it off. Or I'm going to be running the generator overtime, and it's not a good idea to be running a generator in sub-zero or sub-freezing temperatures anyways, but the little champion out there has been a truck. I mean, it keeps going. It doesn't care. But I had to top the batteries off last night, and then today I looked and they were still low. I'm like, or maybe yesterday wasn't the day and it was the day before and I forgot, but for whatever reason, like, batteries are just not keeping up, or I maybe left something on last night. I can't imagine what, and just something screwy. So, on that front, I'm definitely looking. I know this inverter that I have eats watts like crazy, because it's a 4,000 watt inverter. I mean, just to stay on, powered up, and actually run things, it's got a pretty good little vampiric suck that it pulls off of the batteries. I also have a little mini buck in there for 12 volts, so I can rig that up for lighting. But I really need to do some more investing in that. And I was just thinking, like, my workstation here, my laptop doesn't use a whole lot of electricity, so putting in a special plug that's wired directly to the battery bank and enough wattage to run like the laptop and maybe some other little, like a phone charger, some accessories, that kind of thing. That's not really that expensive to set up, and that's something I'm thinking about doing because it'd be pretty easy to do. I just need to put a 12 volt buck on there, and then, because my battery bank's 48 volts, and then hook it to a regular car inverter, and then I could rig something up in here. So after I get through this mess, I'll check the finances again, and I meant to do something like that a while ago. Just never set it up. I want to run a 12 volt string light all the way down the house and just hook it up to the little micro buck that I have back there right now. It's only 300 watts, I think, but it's enough to run lighting for the entire house. So that's why I did that. I just haven't gone the extra step and put the lighting in yet. I was going to rig some stuff up outside to it too. That way, basically, I can shut the big inverter off, the one that powers the pump and the cooktop and the water heater and all the stuff that's connected to the main fuse panel. I basically just shut that guy off and run off the battery bank without having that big vampiric charge sucked down on it. So that would be a thing. Other than that, it's just one of these things that, if this were happening to some normal person, like maybe you're watching this and you're thinking about, oh, I want to go off grid. Let me check out this weird bearded guy wearing the neon green hoodie. And this is one of those things to consider. I've got a friend in town here, and she claims that her house with her husband and her kids is smaller than mine. I'm like, it would be a pretty tight race, but I think she's got like loft areas set up too, so they've got extra sleeping space or something. That would drive me insane to have a whole family boxed up in here. I mean, my brother comes to visit; his hammock takes up half the house. It gets pretty tight quarters, especially if you got a lot of stuff. So I still obviously have too much stuff. I need to start getting rid of some of it, or do a better job of boxing everything up, packing it away. I don't know, man. I get drained down on time, and I'm trying to work on, stuff for a second job, and just everything, like, constantly busy. So it's always, I'll get to that when I have time, and time just never seems to present itself. But that's the way it is. So these are some of the things you need to consider. If you're going to take responsibility for your power and your water and your internet or whatever else, like, yeah, it's really great because they have a power outage in town and you're sitting here all pretty. But some of the finer details kind of suck. So there are more expensive options that can be had and installed that maybe work a little better and they're a little more secure. But even then, it's always something that you're thinking about. You know, what if the well pump goes out? What if this happens? What if that happens? What if my battery bank goes down and I just suddenly need to replace it? That's a big expense right there that I'm trying to save money for. Um, you never know, right? Ever. So, a little off-grid lesson for today, of course, is if you've got winter coming and shit's about to freeze and it's about to get frozen, like, have extra water put away, please. Don't watch this video and think just because this moron's out in the woods, like, water pipes can freeze, they can break, they can burst, and half the city goes down, and then you're out without water and you're kind of fucked. So, like, have some kind of backup means, especially if you're in an area where it's going to be frozen all week. Understand, power lines that get iced over can fail. Like, the lines can break under all that weight and stress. The poles can, the arms can snap off them. There's all kinds of crap that can go wrong with that. So, have your little emergency candles, have your flashlights, have everything out ready to go, because this is the time of year when that kind of crap starts to happen, right? With water, usually my parents' day and age, it was if you see a notice that there's about to be work done on a water line, that was the time to fill up the tub, and you would use that to wash your clothes and wash your hands and clean yourself and all that. And you've got a tub full of water, so you've just got a reservoir that you can use for kind of everything. I would say it's not a bad idea in a disaster area, especially if you've got like 2 or 3 bathrooms in your house. One of them's going to have a tub, and it's probably the one that nobody ever uses. Just top the tub off with water, put a plug in it, and leave it at least until the freezing stuff's over with, and then pop the drain and drain it. If you don't end up using it, you don't end up using it, but at least you have something there that's usable and useful if you need it, right? If you've just got some of these buckets sitting around or something, you don't have to go out and collect rainwater. You just pull water right out of the tap, pop a lid on it, stuff it in the corner. Yeah, it might taste a little stale or whatever, but if you need water for cooking or cleaning the house or anything, 5-gallon buckets are cheap. Water out of the sink is cheap until it's not coming out of the sink anymore, and then you're going to be going and buying it for $1 a gallon. So, which I guess that's not a huge expense, but it's just the hassle. You got to go out in the snow and ice, go to the store if they're open, get the crap, and then everybody in town's going to be trying to get water. You don't want to put yourself in that position, your family in that position. If you've been thinking about a backup generator and you can find one on the shelves right now, which you probably can't if you're in one of these icy conditions, but I would say if you can find one, grab it. Brand really doesn't matter that much. I use Champions, just they've always worked for me and they never quit. That's fine. I'm not endorsing them. I'm not saying they're bad, and just that's what I use. But you can go get a generator if you've got the funds for it. Not a bad idea to think about that. And then if you're going to get the generator, of course, have some cabling where you can run a cable in your house from the garage where the generator might be. Have some of those little pluggy deals. I don't have any anymore, but those little strips. Just in case the power goes out, man. 'Cause the power goes out when it gets cold sometimes. You have stormy conditions, the power can go out, and you have cold conditions and snow and sleet, and the power can go out. So it doesn't have to be a thunderstorm. Ice storms are just as bad, if not worse. And that's all I'm going to say about it. I'm done boo-hooing and telling everybody how to live their life. But, if it's something that is going to impact your family, like, take a step for yourself. Do something right offhand that's going to make a difference. Because if I didn't have these jugs, like, I have these all year round, but just because plumbing accidents can happen, in my case, real easy, all it takes is, who knows, I don't know what's going to happen out there. A line busts, something breaks, I fall over and trip and fall on something soft or break a piece of PVC, and it's all over out there. So I keep these buckets on hand all year long. Just like I keep fat wood, firewood, fire starters, lighters, matches, all kinds of other stuff. Just in the event that something's going to go wrong, I want to have something. I've got an extra 30-pound sack of cat food over there just because I don't want to make a run to the store, especially when I'm sick and everybody's paranoid about COVID and and the roads suck, so that's not helping anything. No, man, it's time to hunker down, stay low, and do my own thing, and that's what I'm doing. Just hanging out at the homestead. So if you're wondering why you're not seeing videos, it's because I'm kind of sick and I don't feel like making videos and sounding like a jackass. This is something I thought was important, and if you have friends and you know that they don't prepare for stuff at all, like maybe this is a good time to go out and say, hey man, you may want to just pack some water away, or you probably don't want to tell somebody that's poor to buy a generator, but just anything, little thing like candles, flashlights, the bare necessities, some kind of backup like a space heater or something, because you never know. You never know what the hell's going to happen. So it doesn't hurt to be prepared, especially when you're going to have freezing weather for 2 weeks straight. So I'm out here, I'm hunkered down. I hope you guys are doing the same, staying safe out there, and if you can, stay off the roads, and if you can't, at least drive safe, be sensible, and all that kind of stuff. I want you guys to be safe out there. Don't go out and He-Man it and try and be immune to everything, because it just ain't gonna work. And if you can avoid it, don't get sick when this kind of crap's going down, because it really puts a damper on everything. I thank you guys for watching. I love you guys. If you're not subscribed and you like my videos, go ahead and hit that button right now. Give me a boost. And like I said, if you got anybody you think this message needs to go out to, then feel free to share it with them. Go ahead and pass it down the pipe and be like, hey man, it can happen. This is what this guy's doing to get around it, but at least get thinking in that regard. Public power and public water are not immutable laws of the universe. They can fail just as fast as anything else. Thanks again for watching. I'm going to shut up now and go back to laying down, and I hope I'll see you guys soon.